Hey guys, welcome back to the Crafty Couple. Hope you had an awesome weekend. We are super excited for today's video. These were a lot of fun to make, so hopefully you enjoy these projects as much as we did. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments which one's your favorite. For our first project, we're going to be using these dowels from Dollar Tree. We're going to be using the large ones and the smaller ones. If I remember correctly, the large ones are 12 inches, the smaller ones are 6 inches. To begin, we're going to take 3 of the 12-inch, the longer dowels, and we're going to create a triangle for the base of this project. This is going to be that triangle succulent plant holder, I guess you would call it. And I found it's easiest just to line it up on a flat surface and then put a little dab of hot glue in each corner. We just want to get that form, and then we can go in after and add more hot glue to strengthen those on each corner. Once those have dried, we can go and move in with our vertical dowels. Again, I'm just using the longer dowels, the 12-inch ones, and putting a little bit of hot glue on the end and then holding it in the corner. Let it dry for a little bit. The nice thing about hot glue is it does give a little bit, so you don't have to be lined up right in the middle. I would suggest just gluing each one in, holding it there for a minute while it dries, and then once you have all 3 of them, we can move on to gluing the top together in the center. As you can see, here's the top. They don't really line up, but like I said, the glue gives a little bit, so you're able to move it around, and then we can line those up where they need to be, and then we can hot glue those together. And then I would add a pretty good amount right now, and then just hold it until it dries so those don't slip around and fall off. Now we can move on to the next part. I'm going to be using the smaller dowels. Now you can still use the bigger ones. I like to use the smaller ones because if I have to use the bigger ones for another project and I end up cutting them all, then I don't have any of those longer ones. So I like to use these smaller ones whenever I need to use a smaller length. What we'll want to do is mark at 2.5 inches and at 5 inches, and we're going to need 3 total at this length. So mark those out and then we can go ahead and cut it. I just use some wire cutters to cut them. It works pretty easy. You don't need anything like a jigsaw or handsaw really. If you do have a handsaw though and you don't have these wire cutters, feel free to use that. But it is very easy to cut these. So again, after you've made your cuts, you should have 3 pieces at 2.5 inches. And then after we've cut them, I would suggest sanding them a little bit just to smooth out those edges and allow them to fit and look a little bit better. Next, we'll take those 3 pieces and line them up in a triangle just like we did at the beginning. I found it easiest just to lay my fingers over like this and then glue, again, just little dabs on each corner so that we can get the structure. And then you can go back in after it's dried and add a little bit more hot glue for some more support. So what we're creating is the little triangle part inside of the big triangle that holds the succulent. So that first triangle that we made is going to be the main frame. And then right now what we want to do is we want to cut 3 more dowels at 2.5 inches each. And then this is going to come down from that triangle and create the triangle underneath of the succulents. All of this I'm sure will make a little bit more sense in a little bit once we get further along in the video. But after we have those 3 pieces cut, we can start gluing them, and essentially we're just repeating the same steps that we did at the beginning of the video with the bigger triangle, just on a smaller level. So then again, put a little bit of hot glue on each of these dowels and glue them in the corner. And then once they've dried a little bit, you can move to where they meet and then glue all of those together. Now that we have that part complete, we can move on to the longer part that goes up from the triangle and connects to the chain. These dowels are going to be a little bit longer. I measured them at 3.5 inches, and again, we'll want to make sure that we cut 3 of these out. And again, we'll do what we did in the previous steps. We'll put a little bit of glue in each corner and glue these dowels vertically. Don't be afraid. I know you might get a little overwhelmed thinking that it has to be perfect right in the middle, but I promise the hot glue does give a little bit and you can move it around. So put a little bit of glue in each corner, and then once they've dried, you can move them around and glue them in the center. If you guys are using a little bit stronger glue, it might be a little bit more difficult because I know some of those take some time to dry. One thing I've had people say is to try using a mixture of E6000 and hot glue. So let me know if you guys have used that method before, if you like using it. Maybe we'll have to start doing it, but I would definitely try that if you're looking for something that's an instant hold like the hot glue and something that will last a little bit longer like the E6000 and give it a stronger hold. Okay, so now we have the big triangle that's going to hold everything, and then the little triangle decor that's going to go in the middle, and it will hang from this chain. I grabbed 3 links from the plant hangers that you can get from Dollar Tree, and we're going to go through now and spray paint everything with this gold spray paint. For me personally, this was a really fun project to work on. I enjoy doing these kind of geometric modern designs. So let me know, guys, if you enjoy this kind of decor. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what your thoughts are and if you'd like to see more of these in future videos. So the next part, what we want to do is take our little chain after everything's been spray painted. We'll put a little bit of glue there and then hot glue that underneath at the top, just like you can see there on this triangle. And then we're going to hot glue the bottom of the chain to the top of this other triangle geometric shape. I thought about hooking it together, but the ways that I was doing it, it didn't really look clean, so I thought a little bit of hot glue would work. This doesn't weigh a lot because it's just little wood dowels, and then the succulent doesn't weigh much at all, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. And then again, we're just using this little air plant succulent from Dollar Tree. I found it easiest to take it apart and stick in the bottom part first because it is pretty stiff and you have to kind of work it around the other dowels, and then the other 2 fit in pretty easily. Alright, so you should have a pretty good idea now of what this is going to look like now that we're almost done. Again, I thought it was a lot of fun to make, so if you guys do it, please let us know. We love hearing and seeing the projects that you guys recreate of ours.
For the base of this project, you will need an extra long skewer. Make marks at 4, 8, 12, and 16 inches. To cut this, I just use a pair of wire cutters, and it's pretty easy to cut, and then just cut on all of those lines, and you'll have 4 pieces total. The pieces that we just cut will make up the side of the base, but now we need to cut the bottom. For the base, you will measure just a little bit wider than your glasses. I measured mine and it was about 3 1/8, so I did just 3 inches and 1/8. Then I measured again 3 1/8, and those are my 2 lines, and that's where I'll cut with the wire cutters again. With all our pieces cut, we just need to sand the ends. Right here, I'm just measuring where I want the base to come across. I didn't have an exact measurement. I knew I didn't want it to be right in the middle. I wanted it to be a little bit lower, and then just make sure all the lines are the same on all 4 of the sticks. You will take 2 of the longer sticks and you will hot glue the smaller stick in between. For the other one, the middle stick needs to be cut in half. And then just glue on both of the sticks the smaller middle pieces. When that is dry, hot glue that middle piece to the other middle piece, and then you will do the same exact thing for the other side. The reason I did it this way is because I didn't want one of the sticks on top of the other middle piece. One, because one would have to be higher and I didn't like that look, and also the glass wouldn't be able to balance in the middle. This is what it looks like with the base completed, and we are going to go ahead and spray paint it with the Krylon Fusion All-in-One Gloss Black Spray Paint. And then for the glass, I just grabbed a cool shaped one from Dollar Tree. The greenery that I'm using is just from Walmart. You can grab pretty much any greenery from Dollar Tree, Walmart, or anything like that. This is what it looks like finished with the black spray paint. Now all you do is place the glass in the center and it is all done.
For this project, we're going to use this little cactus cup, I guess you would call it, from Dollar Tree. I thought it was actually a really neat little piece that they had there, but I wanted to make it a little bit more modern, so I'm using this gloss black spray paint to give it a nice gloss modern look to it. Make sure to put a couple coats on this and then let it dry before doing anything else. I'm just using a couple paper towels here to stuff in the bottom, that way we don't have to use very many rocks. Now, I thought about putting like a stripe or even maybe splattering some paint, maybe a bright color or gold or something like that on the side. I thought it would be kind of a cool look, but I decided not to, just keep it all black. Let me know if you guys think that would have looked better with the spray paint or splattered paint on it, or if you like it as is.
I saw these really cool Hexagon boxes from Dollar Tree and I thought it could make a really cool modern planter. For this you will only need the base and you will spray paint it with the Rust-Oleum white spray paint. For the sides I just used a plunger from Dollar Tree and take off the bottom. Measuring from where the plunger was stuck on, you will measure at 5, 10, and 15 inches. That will make each of the stands 5 inches long. What we use to cut wood is this Black & Decker jigsaw. It is very affordable and has worked great for us, and there's a link in the description below. With all of the pieces cut, we will just need to sand them down. To create the part that will hold the planter, I'm using a 12-inch dowel from Dollar Tree. You will need 3 of them, and I measured them at 3 1/8. I stained everything using the Minwax Dark Walnut stain. Let me know in the comments below if you have a favorite stain that we should try out. I measured about how far up I wanted the planter to go, and I made a mark on all 3 of the wood pieces, and that's where I'm gluing the smaller dowels onto. You will glue them all on, sticking straight up on all 3 of the pieces. Now line them up so they are evenly spaced, and do quite a bit of hot glue in the center to hold them. This is what it looks like fully painted, and also I put floral foam inside to hold the fake plants, and also we are going to be putting moss on top, and I didn't want to have to fill it all with moss. The greenery and moss are also from Dollar Tree. I'm using this new spray adhesive from Dollar Tree and spraying it on top of all the floral foam. And then I'm sticking all the moss on top. I cut just a little bit of the end off and stuck the plant inside. Now you just need to stick the planter into the base. When I was finished, I didn't like how bright green the moss was, so I went over just with some black chalk paint to make it a little bit duller. Also, you can just use rocks, dirt, or a darker moss.
Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time we upload a new video.